Togata, as they are introduced to us in the series, seems like a very easy to understand character, a psycho girl who doesn't give a crap about others, who is obsessed with movies and will create her own film no matter what. But as the series goes on, it becomes more and more clear this is all an act, a lie Togata tells those around him to be accepted in this harsh world. It goes without saying that one of the most prevalent themes in Fire Punch is lies. Characters put on roles, lie to others and themselves to try grasp at happiness or to try feel like their life is worth something. They worship gods, join religions, believe in something as silly as an almighty god up in heaven, a saviour, all again because it allows them to lie to themselves that everything will be okay. In this nihilistic world where the destiny of everyone, of the earth itself, is to freeze to death and die, there really isn't a happy ending over the horizon. It doesn't matter how long you keep living, patience will not ever reward you. So instead, with no hope of a better world, of happiness, the people of this world have to create that hope for themselves, to create happiness in any way they can. For Togata, that happiness came from films. Through films they could experience new worlds and sights, completely foreign to this bleak, icy world. Even though most immortals kill themselves after 100 years, Togata has been around for 3 times that, because unlike human connections that die, his movies remained. Yet what happens when those movies are taken from you? When Doma burnt down Togata's house and all his movies with it? Well, Togata lost the thing that made his life happy, and so was left with nothing left. Which is why he then decides to do one last thing, to try grasp at happiness once more, and that is making his own film. In this cold world without fuel you will die. Everyone needs it both literally and metaphorically. Togata's fuel was his movies, but they became fuel themselves for Doma's flame. Togata's new fuel became making his movie. As long as that movie was unmade, he couldn't die. To complete it, maybe that would bring his life meaning. Then maybe he would feel fulfilled. As we learn during Togata's death, the reason he loves movies so much is because it was movies that allowed Togata to understand himself. He looked up to the action heroes of those movies, of the protagonists who saved people and looked cool doing it. Togata understood they were a man at heart because he saw what he wanted to be in those action stars. But that's just it, only what he wanted to be, not what he was in reality. Togata had lived vicariously through these movies, but never been able to actualise it. That is why filming his own movie became so important to him, as it was just another way to do this. And so nothing came to matter apart from that film. He would let people get sexually assaulted for the sake of better stakes and the sense of catharsis in the viewer, would go behind his so-called friend's back in order to make a more exciting but obviously more painful fight. Togata was the director, Nento was the camera girl, Akane was the protagonist, and that was it. He didn't care about them as people. Well, that's what Togata told themselves. A lie they told themselves. They were just cogs in his creative process. The fact the director's words are absolute says it all. What Akane cares about, what he thinks and feels, doesn't matter. He is just a protagonist on a quest for revenge, and that is all that matters. He has to be angry, he has to want revenge no matter what, because that is what an action hero does. That's what makes the movie interesting. He wanted Akane to be the protagonist because he is exactly what Togata is infatuated with, as that is the ideal Togata themselves wishes to be. Yet by putting on this act, maintaining these roles as director and protagonist, Togata does not allow Akane to come close to understand them. He keeps Akane at arm's reach, something shown quite cleverly by how he physically cannot close the distance with Akane. If he was to touch him, he would be burned to death. These flames, the very thing Togata praises Akane for, is what prevents them from coming to know one another. And as such, Akane does not know the real Togata. Again, just the lie. This is all until Batman, a blessed who can see into the souls of those he lays eyes upon, exposes the true nature of Togata. And so Togata runs away. When his mask is cracked, his lies exposed, all he can do is run away, because he at heart is scared of letting people in, because he is scared of showing his true self to the world. It's easier, safer to hide behind this act. But can Togata ever truly be happy living that way? This heart-to-heart between Akane and Togata is one of my favourite scenes in the entire manga, as Togata for the first time opens up, lets Akane see not the lie, but the real thing. But at the end of the day, even if neither knew it, they were painfully similar people. Agni is a boy trapped in the body of a man, constantly plagued by pain he could never develop. His body grew but his mind did not, a pain he cannot escape. Due to his appearance, he is viewed as a god or a devil. He is judged because of his appearance, cannot be viewed as what he really is, a scared little boy. Togata is a man trapped inside the body of a woman. Even if he tried to have a sex change to try to escape that body, his blessing would put him back together in the same body he hates. With a world as harsh as this, he is seen as a woman because that's what he looks like. And people in this world are too uneducated, too close-minded, to understand any different. Both had their fuel, Luna for Agni and movies for Togata, burned to ashes by Doma. Both lost their fuel and now look to the other to become their new fuel. As Agni says many times, the only way he can ignore the pain is by learning new things, and so Togata teaches him. His stories make Agni forget about the cruel world, almost like a big sister, no, a big brother to him. Togata helps to fill the void Luna left when she died, much like how Agni by becoming the protagonist allows Togata to make his films. If things had gone differently, these two could have lived a happy life together, keeping each other fueled and more importantly, happy. But things, as we know, did not go that way. The two confront Doma, and even after wanting to let the man live, seeing no point in further killing, Agni went back and killed Doma, destroyed his home and killed his family too. Agni fulfilled the revenge story Togata always wanted him to, but Togata saw no action hero, no protagonist here. This here was a villain, and so the story needed a new hero. Togata wanted a tragical hero who suffers relentlessly but still never leaves their virtue of good. The kind of hero you can only find in the movie. By forcing this expectation on Agni, he forgot that Agni is still a person, not a character, and only now can Togata realise this. It's only a small moment, but when Nento refuses Togata's orders, because she's cold, Togata offers her her coat. Because deep down Togata does care for his friends, sees them beyond their roles, wants to help and save them. And so after killing Doma, deciding he has done no good for the world, Agni tries to die. And so just as Togata described earlier in the story, we see heaven, a cinema. Agni goes to take a seat, to watch a movie for eternity and be freed from this world. Yet as he goes to sit down, he is pushed out the way and Togata takes his seat. As Togata explains, the reason they love movies is because they admire action heroes, because that's the kind of man they want to be. They want to be a hero that saves someone. Earlier in the story, Agni asks why Togata can't be the main character, and Togata remains silent, because deep down they always wanted to be, but they couldn't. They felt they weren't able. Yet now they can, and so they do. Togata touches Agni and for the first time closes the distance between them and relates. As the priest says, you can never know who you are by yourself. Snow is only white if it is seen, only cold if it is touched. When others look at you and touch you, that's when you can understand who you are. No matter what you think, what others think is more important, because you first know who you are by others' assessments of you. In this moment, by touching Agni, feeling his flames and the pain it causes, that's when Togata understands Agni. For the first time can see this flaming man not as some ideal protagonist but as the scared little boy always in constant pain that they are. Togata may have thought all that matters is what's on the outside, that people will never understand or care about what's on the inside. But this moment proves him wrong, because he saw past Agni's appearance and saw the truth of who he is. The lies all go away here, both the lie these two characters tell themselves and the ones they tell others. It is an intimate expression of connection, an embrace that brings full understanding of one another. It is an intimate expression of connection, an embrace that brings full understanding of one another, much like the embrace we see at the end of the series. And so Togata here is able to become who they want to be. As said later in the story, people become who they want to be. Togata dies so Agni can live, but there is meaning in this death. Togata found happiness here. They became fulfilled not through living but through dying. Their death here was the single moment they got to be the hero. He thought the only way he could create a protagonist was by creating a film. He didn't think he could do it himself. that people would accept him as a hero despite the way he looks. Yet through death he could. He wasn't just directing Agni, his protagonist, no, he was taking action himself for the first time. He could never be one in life, but in death, in that one moment, he could achieve his dream. Togata was shackled in life, not able to become who they wanted to be. Due to their regeneration, they couldn't have the body they wanted, but through death, he could be whoever he wanted to be and nothing could stop him. He for once had control over his whole life, and so became the hero of his own story. But what I think is most important about Togata's death is the last words they gave to Agni. They mull over many different cool final lines, but in the end, the word they utter is live, the same as Luna. Because as Togata lay there dying, as they looked at Agni and wondered why he had to live, that's the simple conclusion Togata came to. That sure, he's in unbearable pain, and is now alone without a purpose, but there might just be something out there, one thing that will make him happy, just one moment that makes it all worth it. Togata could have offed themselves like so many immortals do, but if they did, they never would have come to experience this one moment of fulfillment. And so Agni must live, so that one day he too will experience it, achieve what Togata was able to achieve in the end. While also being reminded by Togata's sacrifice that his life does matter, that he may not see worth in it, may see himself as a horrid villain, but others see and understand that he is not. Again, as the priest says, you first know who you are by others' assessment of you. And Togata's assessment was that he was important enough to be saved. So what is the point of Togata's character? Is it to teach us that lies hold you back from happiness? That you can't live through other people? Perhaps it demonstrates you can be whatever you put your mind to? Maybe. But to me, Togata represents one simple fact. That the best moment of your life, that true fulfillment that makes all your pain and suffering worth it, well, it can be just around the corner. Maybe it's tomorrow, maybe in 300 years. The point is, there is always something worth living for, even if that thing is one day death.
And if you want to support this channel even further, then perhaps pledge to my Patreon, or consider becoming a channel member, so you can get your name at the end of the video, like Rinjack9696, Mr. Sputum, Marimo, Jack Hammer, Zolby and Eric Hinton.